I thought I understood how to use this lens. Manual focus, f1.2, zone focusing, shutter distance, stop down, and everything in that range should be in focus. On paper, it actually sounds pretty simple, but when I went out shooting, most of my photos looked like this. And the frustrating part is, I wasn't guessing. I was using the lens exactly the way it's designed to be used. This is the TTArtisan 50mm 1.2, fully manual, all metal, pretty affordable, and honestly, very appealing on paper. Because with a lens like this, you're not relying on autofocus. Instead, you can use techniques like zone focusing. You set a focus distance, choose an aperture, and based on the marking on the lens, you get a zone where everything should be in focus. So just to make that really clear, how this works is that if you focus on a distance, let's say like 4 meters, zone focusing means that everything in front and behind 4 meters within a particular distance will be in focus. So you have this zone or area where everything should be in focus when you take a photo from the 4-meter point. So instead of focusing for every shot, I can just wait for something to enter that zone, and I know it will be in focus and I can take that shot. So instead of reacting, you anticipate. You're ready before the moment happens, and this is exactly how a lot of classic street photographers worked. They weren't chasing focus, they were working within a distance and letting the moment happen inside it. So naturally I expected this to work. So I went out shooting using that exact idea. Set a distance, stop down and trust the scale and shoot. But it just didn't feel right, because I was missing more than I expected. Not wildly out of focus, but just slightly off. Over and over again. And that's what made it confusing, because it didn't feel like I was doing something wrong. It felt like I was almost right all the time. So I went home and I looked through the images and I realized this wasn't random. There was a pattern. So I decided to actually test it properly to find out what was going on. First thing I checked is this lens even accurate? And it is. If you focus carefully and confirm with focus assist, it hits focus just fine. So the lens isn't broken. The problem is something else. And what I found out is that the problem is the size of the usable focus zone that is marked on the lens. Because what the lens markings suggest and what you actually get are not the same thing in practice. So I started measuring it. And this is where things changed, because at 1 meter you only get about 11 centimeters in focus. At 2 meters you get about 48 centimeters. At 3 meters you get about a meter in focus. And these are not forgiving zones. They are very specific distances that you have to hit if you want to get your subject in focus. And to actually get something that feels like a usable zone, you need to go to a distance of around 5 to 6 meters from your subject. But if you do this, then you're no longer shooting close street photography. You're shooting mid-distance scenes. And that just completely changes how you can use this lens. And this was the mistake that I made, or felt. I didn't miss because I couldn't focus. I missed because I thought more of the scene wasn't focused than it actually was. And this is also where it gets a bit more nuanced, I think, because not every miss is actually unusable. Some of these shots would still look completely fine on Instagram, but when you actually look closer, they are not critically sharp, and that difference matters sometimes. Because if you're just sharing images online, you might get away with it. But if you care about sharpness, if you print your work or you just want clean results, this becomes a real limitation. You might get away with it, but you can't rely on it. And for me, that's where it broke down. Because I don't want images that are just good enough on a small screen. I want them to actually hold up for something bigger. So after all this, what actually works? Because this lens is not bad. There are basically two ways to use this lens. First, slow, controlled shooting. Set your focus deliberately. Use something like f5.6 or f8 Zoom in a particular spot and let your subject enter that space. I would call this composition focusing. You set up the composition, you set the area you want the focus to be in, and then you're ready to shoot when something happens. This works really well, it's reliable, and you get sharp results. I also use this kind of shooting with my autofocus lenses, so this is not something new to me. Second, we have zone focusing. It still works, but not the way that the lens markings make it look like. To get something usable, you need to be around 5 to 6 meters, and this still only really works at least f8, f11 or even f16, which means you're not shooting close, reactive street scenes. You're shooting more mid-distances, environmental moments, and that's a very different style. And yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually shoot like this myself a lot of the time. But if you're expecting that fast, close, reactive street style, this is where it gets really difficult. Not impossible, but you have very little room for error, and you'll miss a lot more shots unless you're really precise. And it's also important to say, this isn't just this specific lens. This is physics. This is what happens when you use a 50mm lens on an APS-C camera. The depth of field is simply tighter than most people expect. And that's also why a lot of classic street photographers preferred wider lenses on full-frame cameras, because it naturally gives you a bigger, more forgiving zone to work with. Now, as I said, this lens isn't particularly bad because of this, and when it comes to image quality, at f1.2 you can get a nice look, but it's also pretty soft and very unforgiving. Even when you think you nail focus, it's often just slightly off. So if you want to use this, you definitely need a subject that knows how to stand still. From f5.6 to f8 it becomes much sharper and much more usable. But this also means that you're not really using this as an f1.2 lens most of the time. And yeah, just to say, in bright conditions, you often can't even use f1.2 at all without an ND filter, because you're going to let so much light in that the shutter speed of your camera can't even keep up with this. So the feature that makes the lens exciting at first is actually the hardest one to actually use. So the problem wasn't manual focus, and it wasn't even zone focusing, and it wasn't actually the construction of this lens. It was just how small the usable zone actually is, especially here on a 50mm lens on the APS-C camera. You're not working with a forgiving range, you're working with very tight markings. And if you don't understand that, this lens will feel inconsistent very quickly. The lens isn't bad, but it forces a very specific way of shooting. If you slow down and work more deliberately, it can actually be really enjoyable to use. And to be fair, this kind of lens makes a lot more sense for portraits and not for street photography. When your subject isn't moving much, you can take your time, nail focus, and actually benefit from that f1.2 look. That's where it's much more in its comfort zone. But if you expect fast, close, reactive street photography, this setup will be frustrating at first. Not impossible, but much less forgiving than it looks. If you want, I can make a full breakdown of zone focusing step by step and how to actually use it if you don't know about this. So let me know if this is something you would like to hear about. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and put a thumbs up. I would really appreciate this, and it helps me quite a lot. So yeah, thank you. All that's left to say is take care, guys, and I will see you around.
Boy, I'm the biggest in the game. I'm the one they talk about. Everybody know my name. My resume is loud.